guys and dolls, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Janay Wells show. In this video, it's going to be like an update video, but I'm going to be doing my makeup while I tell you guys what's been going on. My dog is underneath the table. I'm like, Sasha, what are you doing? Alright, so this is going to be probably a rather long video. I'm filming it on my phone. Hopefully it will not cut off. It will not be edited. I will list the products in the description box below. So pretty much this is kind of like a mental health update. Trying to figure out where to even begin. Okay, so pretty much, I think it was last week. So wait, actually let me back up. So this year has been a really interesting year, and I noticed this year that I struggled the most with depression than I normally do. So all year I kept saying I need more support, and it was, let me move this, I think this is making a noise. So pretty much October it got kind of bad, and I ended up going to the hospital. I waited for I don't know how many hours, and then I ended up leaving. I was feeling a little bit better, and I'm like, if I stay, I know that they're not going to keep me anyways. So pretty much my friend had went with me, and visitors weren't really allowed, so my friend wasn't really able to stay. And then let's see, so I've been talking to my therapist about twice a week, but I recognized, I was like, maybe I need more intensive therapy or whatever. So I noticed that I was just struggling. I was like, why am I struggling with this? And I had other stuff going on, which I'll probably talk about a little bit later. I'm getting ready to redo a sleep study because they're not sure if it's narcolepsy or not. That's a little frustrating, but I don't have to pay for it this time. Anybody that's done a sleep study, it's like thousands. It can be like $2,000-$3,000 depending on your insurance and your deductible and all that. So, yeah, so it's been like a whirlwind, and then now we're in December. It doesn't even really feel like it is like December, but it is. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my makeup. Sorry if I sound a little bit all over the place though. It's been challenging, y'all. So in essence, pretty much, I think it was last week, and this is another thing that I've been struggling with my attention, just even holding my attention, so bear with me, sorry y'all. But I was like, I'm gonna do my makeup. I need to do my makeup, because I haven't done my makeup since I saw my friend when I went to North Carolina to see Dr. Faith. That was the last time I did my makeup, like a whole month, and that never really happens. I normally do my makeup at least five days out the week, because it's something that I actually really love and really enjoy. And when you have or when you're experiencing depression, it can take anything that you once enjoyed starts to dissipate, and that's what I noticed. Every time I get depressed, I stop doing my makeup. So I have been trying to get back on track. And I want to talk about this because a lot of YouTubers, they just show you the pretty side, the rough side, you know, or they don't show you the rough side and things that they might be struggling with. And I think it's important. I started my YouTube talking about mental health when I was 16 years old. So it's been like, over 7 years. So my birthday is next month. I'll be 24. That doesn't even feel real. Like, the fact that we're getting ready to enter a new year, like, it's crazy. So in essence, last week I was really struggling. I had went to church, and I think I went for prayer, and I pretty much was laying on the floor, stretched out, and y'all know I'm not a morning person, so for me to be there at like 8:50, but I pressed to get there, and it's like I have to get to church. And I remember hearing what one of the pastors or speakers were talking about, and then I remember just kind of like not falling asleep, but just, it seemed like time, like they said, okay, we have 45 minutes for prayer, and it's like, to me, the 45 minutes felt like 10 or 15, I don't know, I could have been maybe a little bit asleep, but I don't know, either that or I was just not fully, whatever. And I was just resting, just trying to like rest. And then they had a freedom conference. I went to that Friday, it was like last Friday night, I believe. And I started talking with someone that came, and she wanted to pray for me, and I told her kind of what was going on and whatnot. And she was like, well, do you need to be in like a safe environment while you're going off this certain medication? Because so I deal with fibromyalgia. I don't really talk about it, but maybe one day I'll talk about it more. I've been dealing with it for 4 years. I just got diagnosed like a couple months ago. And so they put me on an antidepressant, which if you have bipolar disorder, you normally don't take antidepressants because it pushes you into a manic phase. For those that don't know, a manic phase or a hypomanic phase is like an elevated mood state in which you can get irritable, you can get super euphoric, your activity levels tend to increase. It can even get to the point, it can keep escalating. Some people even experience psychosis. It can get that bad, but pretty much that is what I think happened to me. I was already depressed. Then I started getting a mixed manic depression kind of thing going on. And then also, this is on normally like the black box warning or whatever, but antidepressants can also increase thoughts of harm and suicide. So that's probably also what happened to me. Okay. Ooh, this looks really nice. This is the first time I'm trying this foundation, y'all. It looks really nice, but for $40 it should. And here's another thing. I bought a whole bunch of makeup because I was like, well, maybe if I get some more makeup, maybe that'll make me feel more like myself and it'll motivate me to do my makeup, yada, yada, yada. Y'all, I spend so much money at Awesome Beauty, it's not even funny, so I have to figure out what I'm going to do about that. So it can be really difficult lately because my mind has been racing so much. It's been hard for me to hold conversations. It's been hard for me to do my homework. I'm able to complete 2 out of the 3 of my classes. Another class that requires more extensive work, I might actually have to take it incomplete because of how my mental health is right now, which is kind of disheartening because I'm like, really, like this happens to me like 2 weeks before the semester is over. Like, come on now. And when I started going to the HBCU that I go to, I was a 4.0 GPA student. And after that, it just seemed like, as my mental health deteriorated, so did my grades. I failed a class because I couldn't focus. Like, it was so many things. going on. Even right now, having my makeup in front of me, I'm a little like, kind of like, okay, which product should I use next? I'm like mentally all over, but I just put on my foundation. I think I'm gonna try out this new Tarte concealer. But so I went to the hospital Friday night. I didn't have to wait too long, but they put me in this room, and I went in maybe, I don't know, like 10 something or whatever. They had put me in this room, and I had to wait for the medical doctor to clear me. And apparently they didn't have someone to like evaluate me psychologically at that moment. So I had to wait till the next morning. It took like 6 hours just for the medical doctor to come. And so I'm on a lot of medication, so that wasn't really good. And it was not really a good experience at all. I kept kind of bothering the nurses every other hour because I'm like, are they coming? Like, what's going on? Because the thing is, if I don't take my medicine, I don't sleep. And I pretty much told her, like, I came here so I could get better, not worse. And I can't even have my medication. I had, like, my prescription bottles with me. So it wasn't like I just had, like, pills in my backpack. You know, like, I had my prescription with me. So I couldn't really understand why they couldn't look at that. And it took so long because the medical doctor was, I guess, trying to evaluate, like, COVID patients or whatever. So it was really difficult. I started singing worship for like probably a good hour to try to shift that atmosphere that I was in. By I think 1 o'clock, 1:30, I just started crying and I couldn't stop because it's like here I am and I'm in this room, this Hallmark Christmas movie's going on, and everything just starts to hit me. And it's like I can't even sleep, like I can't even turn it off. And it was just really difficult. So they called like the charge nurse, and I eventually got my meds around like 4:30, 5:30, which was not really good, but I got them. And then once I got them, I like fell asleep in like less than 30 minutes to an hour. But the Hallmark Christmas movies helped to keep me like focused because I was just so swirling. And my thing is, I always want to be safe. Like that's my main thing. Like I always want to be in a safe environment, and at that point, I mean, I was struggling so much to the point where I was like, okay, I have to make a decision here on what I'm gonna do. And there's no shame in getting the help that you need. There's no shame in realizing like you need more support, you need more help. And because at this point, I mean, I wasn't even just slightly depressed. I was majorly depressed. And it was really bothersome for me. Because I'm really hard on myself, if you guys can't tell already. And then to have something that's like working against you, and you're like, why can't I think clearly? Why can't I feel? Like, why can't my mood be regulated? It was so much going on. And I ended up leaving the next day because I was so uncomfortable. I didn't even get evaluated, which like really wasn't good. But when they didn't give me my meds, I was like, yep, no, I can't stay here. Like, because to me, it didn't feel like a safe environment anymore. And pretty much, yeah. And then this past Wednesday, I think it was like a couple of days ago, or Tuesday, it hit me really bad again. And to the point where I was like, do I need to go back to the hospital? Like it really like hit me. And I'm thankful to have a couple friends to like really check on me and call me, because sometimes it makes all the difference. I know I did that night. I had a couple people talk to me for about 3 hours, and while I was just like crying and having a breakdown, and like that really helped me. And at that point, it was like I was so hopeless. Like, it didn't matter that I just wrote a book. It didn't matter that, and I start hearing the Lord, and I start getting visions, and I start to see my family. I start to see my children. I'm not married yet. I don't have a family yet, but I'm starting to see stuff that God has for me. And at this point, I remember waking up and I was dreaming, and I could see myself, and I could see the spirit of depression. Like, for those that don't know, I have training in psychology and counseling. I know, like, the biopsychosocial model of depression, right? But when I tell you, I saw the spirit of depression, and it was so, so dark. And I saw the spirit of death. I saw it on me. And that was really hard, because at that point, I didn't really want to live. I'm going to just be straight up. Like, I have to be authentic. I have to be real in this video, because I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to be phony. It was like all hope was gone. Like, it was really not good. And then I started to see the spirit of trauma and the spirit of pain, and I saw that, and I saw how the spirit of trauma was connected to everything just about that I was going through. And so when I woke up, I knew, like, I need some more deliverance. But it was like, I remember laying there, and I remember feeling God's hand on my head. It was such force, like, and then I could hear Dr. Faith's voice. I could hear her interceding for me, for her praying for me, like kind of how she did when I went to the conference. And I could hear her say, I take authority over it. I take authority over it. And it was so powerful. And I could feel God's hand literally on my mind, like, okay, like, that's enough. Like, God don't play when it comes to his children. And God was showing me everything that essentially the enemy wanted me to abort. And that was my career. That was having a family one day. That was, anything and everything. That's what it was. And that's hard. That's a hard thing to, like, face. Because most people see me and, I can look happy or this, that, and third. But, like, when you struggle with severe mental illness, like, it draws me closer to God. Like, I can't even, like, fully, it was something. And I'm just so thankful for God. I'm so thankful for his hand. His hand was on me, and every day I had to choose to live. Every day I had to make a choice. And there were days where I didn't want to. And, but I made a promise to God, and for me, I know that Jesus died for me. So, like, because I had that conviction, that revelation, that I would never do anything to, like, take my own life. I would never do that, because I have the revelation and the conviction of who God is. And I'm in such awe and reverence of God, and no amount of torment could make me do that, because I know that if I do that, I'm not going to be with God forever. Like, I know that. I have that conviction. So slowly but surely, God, he was really just kind of helping me, and I started to, like, regain my hope back. In days it's hard. Like, some days it's hard. So they had me on another medication. So I'm on, like, four medications. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is for now. I'm going to continue to walk through deliverance. I'm going to continue to walk through inner healing. I've done it, time and time again, but it's a process. And some things will break instantly, and some things are more like layers. Like, it might not break off that quickly. And I realized that I have more trauma than I thought that I had. And so God is trying to heal that in me. And He needs to heal that in me, because if I'm going to do the calling that He has for me, I need to be whole, I need to be healed. Because it says, by His stripes, we are healed. So, I'm gonna let that bake for a little bit. But that was hard. Like, that was just, that was really difficult for me. But I do notice that talking does help. And even then, I was like talking with my friend on the phone, and like I was just having a hard time even just holding a conversation, because my mind was going so fast. My mind was just going so fast. And yeah, it was really difficult, but I always tell people, like, don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed, like, get the help you need, because your life matters, even in that moment when you don't think that it does. Like, in that moment, I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I had anybody, any friends. I felt so unlovable. I felt so like this is inescapable. Like, there's no hope left. That's how deep I was in the hole. Like, the doctors are telling me some of these things, and they don't have a cure. And like, I mean, over a while, everything was weighing, dealing with chronic pain, dealing with this, everything was weighing. And God, He showed up for me, and He always does, because He's a good father. And even then, my relationship with God, I was kind of like a little bit, I don't want to say distance, but like, I was having a really hard time even connecting with God. Like, I had to stay in that place of worship, because if I didn't, it was just going to be all of these lies and things that weren't true just coming to my mind, because that's what the enemy wants to do. He wants to take territory of your mind. He wants you to feel as if there is no hope left, as if you're not loved, as if God doesn't have a calling for you. So I had to really like believe God at His word and stand on His word. And that can be a hard thing to do sometimes. But I'm just grateful. I had friends check on me and talk to me on the phone, which was really important, because I realize now how helpful that is for me to have that. So yeah, it was really difficult. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there were days like I didn't even like know how I was gonna make it through the day. Like, it was hard, y'all. Like, healing is hard. Like, but we can do hard things. But healing is like, oh man, like, because you have to face it. And that's the thing for me that I have a hard time with sometimes. It's like facing what it was that happened, or facing like, and there were traumas that I didn't even realize that I had, or things that I experienced that I didn't realize was I'm not gonna say it might trigger somebody, but I'm not even gonna say it. But it's stuff that I realized from years ago that I didn't realize how much it was like truly affecting me. so that was difficult. I go back to work today, which I feel like I kind of need some more time, but whatever, it is what it is right now. I'm just gonna keep praying for the Lord's strength. And for those that don't know, I work in residential mental health care, so I know God is gonna be with me through everything. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me, just a lot of stuff, and but I'm believing that God has healed me, and I need to really just stay in the face of God and just remember that he's already healed me, and that I can be free, and yeah, that I can be free. I don't know what it looks like. I have a lot of blush on this cheek, but I really don't. But anyways, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my makeup is coming together. Whew, man. Like, when I just say, like, it's been challenging, figuring out kind of what else. I'm gonna try some neurofeedback therapy maybe in January or February. It's gonna be an investment in myself. It's probably gonna be like $100 a session, but yeah, I struggle with OCD and anxiety, and it's also something that's gonna help kind of retrain and help me rewire my brain to not ruminate, to not worry, because I easily fixate on things. And so we're gonna try something different other than CBT therapy and whatnot, because I don't know, I feel like it's helped, but I feel like also that I just need more therapy, or maybe a different kind of modality of therapy. So that's kind of where I'm at. And if you guys want to hear updates on that, I can definitely take you on the journey of what that's like. Yep, I know it's definitely not easy. And I feel like mental health should be something that should be talked about more than what it is now. Because it's important. It's definitely important, and it affects 1 in 4 people. So I don't know what is going on with I'm trying to shape my eyebrows, but it's not really coming out the way that I wanted to. But just focus on the people that are there for you as well, that want to be there for you. Because what I've learned is, like, through this, despite how I was feeling, I had people that genuinely did care for me, did want to support me. Yeah, and my nutrition has not been good lately, so someone from my job taught me how to make this meal that I wanted to learn how to make, and that helped. That really helped me. So when I get depressed, I don't eat, or I have maybe like one meal. So yeah, it's definitely been challenging, but just keep working on what you need to work on for yourself. Like, I know I talk about quite a few things on my channel, and one of those things being preparing for marriage. One of those things of preparing for marriage is literally getting yourself together and, like, knowing what you need to be healed from before you get married. Cause I don't know about you guys, but like this this has to stop with me. Like, I'm the generational curse breaker in my family, which I can feel the weight of that thing. And it's, whew, but it is what it is. And I'm like, okay, God, well, help me to walk it out. And having like hard conversations too, that can be challenging. And there's some people that are going to say, oh, like, why are you even talking about this? That you really shouldn't share that. Honestly, those people really don't care, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And I think the more that people talk about it, the more open that people will become and realize it's okay to go to therapy. Like, y'all, I pray, I got my oil, I speak in tongues, but I go to therapy. Like, that's a must for me. It's a must. And so do what helps you. Do whatever the Lord is asking you to do, because it can expand upon. I think one of the reasons why I deal with chronic pain, other than being in my car accident from almost 4 years ago, is that I have unresolved issues and trauma, and it gets trapped in my body, and it manifests as pain. So I'm working on that, and forgiveness. And sometimes we think we've forgiven people, but really we haven't fully forgiven them, and that can also create pain in our body as well. And just holding on to things that our body is not really meant to really carry. Okay, y'all, brows on fleek. Brows on fleek. I'm trying to hurry up. I'm like taking forever doing my my makeup. If you guys are still with me, I appreciate it. But that's a little bit of my story and like overcoming. And I know some people, they wanted to hear a little bit more about mental health and some of the other stuff. But yeah, it's something I deal with, and it's okay to be real. Like, it's okay to say that you struggle with anxiety sometimes or whatever. Like, well, I try not to say struggle, but I'm working on that as well. Like, fixing how I say things. But it's okay to realize that you need to work on some things, and sometimes that only comes out through, going to therapy and doing and walking out, like, the process of that. I'm gonna do my eye makeup like super quick because this video is gonna be so long. But yeah, that's honestly a part of it. And I work with patients that struggle with mental illness as well. And you don't have to be like that forever. You can make positive changes. You can work on stuff. I've seen it, and I've been through that myself, where even the people that are in my like accountability group, they're like, you've grown so much in the past year. Like, you've just grown. That's what they say. You've grown so much. So I'm just amazed to see how God is going to continue to refine me and mature me over the next year, because I'm like, wow, if I did all that in less than a year, like, okay, like, what else can I do so that when I become a mental health counselor, I would have already worked on a lot of those things. When I become married, those things won't start to rear its nasty head because I haven't dealt with them. A lot of times, we don't always deal with things, and it can manifest in other ways. So try to really like work on like dealing with it, and it's okay. And being an an advocate for yourself. Like I had to talk to like my professor and say, hey, look, like I'm really struggling right now. And I don't even think I'm gonna be able to finish this paper on time, because at that point I couldn't even really hold a conversation. Reading would have probably been also very difficult. So working on that so I can finish my class later, so I don't have to take it all over again. Just imagine like being at the end and like, yeah, so I'm working on that so that I can get myself back together. Yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in my life, just trying to continue to work on things. I have another book coming out for Weather the Wait sooner or later. It's practically in the editor's hands. It's been a little bit delayed because of my mental health and what's been going on, but I don't know. I think it's going to be done by like probably January or February, but I might not release it until April maybe. So we'll see. I'll have a lot of different books coming out within the next couple of years. Probably like 5 or 6 books. So we'll see. I got the template for some of them, so we'll see how it goes. God just, like, when he downloads, he downloads. Like, I'm a visionary, so I have to wait on God, because I get a vision and then I want to run with it right then and there, and God is like, okay, I didn't say run with it now. So, and then I'm like, but God, you showed me. So I get excited and I want to run with it. Ooh, my eye makeup is looking pretty. I feel more like myself already. Like, doing my makeup makes me so happy. Like, oh, this just looks so nice. I normally do my makeup on my other channel. I normally don't do it on this channel, but I needed to have a conversation with y'all, and like, you know, I'm gonna do my makeup at the same time because it's been a month, and I really need to start to do my makeup so I can feel more like myself. But I'm also a makeup artist. I don't do it as much anymore, and then COVID kind of happened, but I love makeup, if you guys can't tell. I started a makeup line a couple of years ago, but ran into some issues with that, so I'll probably relaunch it, who knows, maybe in the next couple of years. Trying to be patient and wait on the Lord, because I really enjoyed having my makeup line, and the fact that I had to stop was kind of difficult for me. But yeah, I'm gonna do my eyeliner. We are almost done. Actually, before I do my eyeliner, I'm gonna spritz my face with this. Okay, we are almost done now. I have to get ready for work soon. That clock is not right. Okay. Alright. I'm like, I know it's not 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay, I did that eye. I don't think I'm gonna do a wing. Alright. I think I'm done with that. Okay. And I'll do my mascara off camera. But yeah, it's okay, like reach out for help. Talk to your family members. Like, not all my family members understand. Not all of them get it. But just try to keep having those conversations. I wasn't sure what kind of lip I was gonna go with today. But I'm gonna go with I Am Healed from my makeup line. Okay, that's fine. You don't necessarily need to use a lip liner with this, but I'm gonna try out. I wanted to try out my new lip liner. This is a nice holiday color too. And I literally woke up with such a sweet message from actually one of my subscribers, Kiara. Shout out to you, girl. She's just been so sweet. I woke up and she left me 2 voice messages of prayer, and it was just really sweet. It was just really sweet. So thank you all for your kind prayers, and it really means a lot to me during this time. Ooh. I'm sorry, I'm feeling myself now. I'm like, but I want to cry. But it feels good to like do my makeup, because I know I don't need makeup, y'all, but like makeup is like my art. It's like my art, and I got my cute little mini. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of a close-up, but this is what it looks like. It looks really pretty. Brows on fleek, highlight on fleek. Yep, it looks so nice. All right, y'all, I gotta get going to work, but I know this was a long video, but I hope it encouraged you, and I hope it encourages you to move forward and to recognize, like, hey, it's okay to recognize that there are things that I need to do better within myself, or things that I need to acknowledge within myself. And it's okay. A lot of times people don't want to acknowledge that they struggle with mental health. And it's okay. I'm here on this platform on YouTube, which some of my family members will be like, why are you saying all that? I don't care, because the grace and the calling that's on my life, I really don't care, because I had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. And that's just my position, because I know what God has called me to do. And I have to be obedient to that. But stay encouraged, y'all. Stay encouraged. I'm so behind. I got videos from May. I got videos from last year that I need to upload, so y'all might be seeing those whenever. But just stay encouraged and know that, like, no matter what, God is for you. God is greater than what you're feeling, what you're going through. And so, yeah, stay encouraged. All right.